All right, y'all. Welcome to the VIP stream, July 12th, 2021. I do pray that all of you are blessed. And thank you for being here. We have some interesting price action to go over right now. Yeah, unfortunately for me, I was not trading yesterday, nor was I really trading this morning. So I missed, a really nice short. And currently, yeah, I might as well show the screen while we're waiting for people to get in here. So basically what happened was we had put in yesterday, we had come up to the top of this channel, this descending channel that we've been trading in for quite some time. And not only was it the top of a channel that we came up to, but also we came up to the fib retracement resistance from this high to this low. We came right into the golden pocket, and we did put in a bearish divergence on the 1 hour time frame right here as we're coming into the golden pocket, as we're coming to the top of the channel. And of course we have a massive drop from there. Things still looking quite bearish. We've got the money flow coming down on the 1 hour. Of course we're getting a little bounce right now. Why are we getting the bounce right now? It's because we came right to the daily level that we've had on our chart for so long. Actually, let me adjust this fib a little bit here. Turn off all these other levels so it's cleaner looking. So yeah, we came right from this resistance right here with the bearish divergence on the 1 hour time frame, right down to our daily level of support right here, and look at how nice that bounce is. And not only did we come down to the daily level, but if we come to the 12-minute time frame, we do clearly see that we got a bullish divergence forming on the 6-minute. It becomes even more clear, right? And we come right down to that daily level with the bullish divergence printing right there. So Bitcoin is one of those coins where the levels are very technical, very respected, and the biggest issue that I have, and I'm sure many of you have, is just waiting for those right trade setups to come. That's honestly the biggest thing, is waiting for those good trades to come to you instead of trying to always be in a trade. So this morning when I woke up, I noticed that I had already missed the short entry, right? We were getting a little bounce right here off the 382. And yeah, of course I could have still entered a short here and I could have still been in massive profits, but I don't like to do that. I don't like to enter a short just because we're coming down. I like to wait until we're at a level, and that's the way I like to trade, because otherwise sometimes we don't always get the continuation, like right here. Right, we come out of the golden pocket. Even on the 12-minute, yesterday we did have this bearish divergence as we got the massive pump right up to the golden pocket. Right, we could have taken a short here, but if I had been late on the entry, guess what? Stopped out. So it's always best to just wait for those really good entries. Wait for them to come to you. They are going to come. That's the thing. They are going to come. You don't have to be in a trade every day. You don't have to be in a trade even every other day. You just take them when you see them, and don't worry about taking some time off from the charts, right? I took some time off yesterday and even this morning, right? Just need some time to decompress. The trades will be there in the future for sure. So right now, the daily time frame, and this is pretty important. Let me come into the chat and make sure people are here, and then we'll get started, guys. We'll get started. We have a lot of things to talk about today. All right, we've got about 76 people in here. What's going on? Time for Agorism and J-Boy Bullish. J-Boy Bullish, nope, didn't catch the daily bounce, man. Didn't catch it. I was, what's funny is, because I was doing my TA for the week, I was looking at so many other things that I wasn't really paying attention to the price getting that bounce. But, like I said, man, there will be other trades for me to take. All right, guys, so we're going to go over Bitcoin, then we're going to go over Ethereum and talk about kind of what I'm seeing this week. So obviously, we're consolidating. We're getting tighter and tighter in this little area. Potentially, you could say that we're trading in some kind of consolidating triangle like this on the daily time frame, right? We definitely have squeezing going on. We definitely have some kind of squeezing going on. And I think that this right here is something to keep our eyes on. Definitely something to keep our eyes on, because if we break down from this triangle, you know, really, if we put in a lower low than this right here, I think we're gonna see lower than 30K. We're gonna see into the 20s again. So I think this is a make or break moment, as it's been for the past number of weeks, right? Because in this consolidation period, there's a move coming. It's either going to be up or down. And so our job is, well, one, we could try and trade the breakouts and the breakdowns, which I'm not a fan of, but hey, if that's your thing, by all means, do it. Like, you know, this morning, we had a head and shoulders pattern that played out that I saw forming. I posted about it in the Discord, but you know, if we just take our neckline right here, you know, we had, and I find head and shoulders, they play out nice. We had our left shoulder, our head, our right shoulder, and then we broke down from there, and you know, our technical target would have been right down here, and now we lost that support, and we came down a little bit lower, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens right here. But yeah, if you're into trading patterns, then by all means trade them. But for me, you know, if I see that we're breaking down out of a triangle, I will short a retest of the triangle as long as things are looking bearish on Market Cipher, or I will wait for us to get a bounce and then short when we come back up to some other support, right? That's basically what shorting a retest is. If we break through, we come up here, this is resistance. So yeah, you look to short the resistance. I wouldn't want to short just because we're coming down, because I don't know how far down we're going to come. So we've got this triangle forming right here. The daily time frame, we can see that, you know, we've still got momentum coming up. And besides this momentum wave that we got right here, we've still been unable to print a wave above that zero line. And, you know, as we're consolidating and squeezing in, we can kind of see momentum coming up. On the 12-hour, we're currently printing a red dot, which, you know, that's kind of bearish, right? But as we're consolidating in here, these moves become less and less. You know, the 8-hour, we just had the money flow cross up for the first time on the 8-hour since, you know, April 18th, right? The day after the dump began was the last time we had green money flow on the 8-hour. So this to me is, you know, it's inconclusive to me. I have to be honest with you guys. It's inconclusive because of the consolidation and because of the fact that Market Cipher has to interpret the price action in the context in which the price action happens, meaning, you know, if there's a lot of volatility or if there's a little volatility, Market Cipher still has to print tops and bottoms. And if there's a very slight discrepancy in money flow in small amounts of volatility, then it's going to print a money flow crossover, but it's not the same as the money flow crossovers that happen when there's massive amounts of volatility. So that's something to keep in mind. On the 4-hour, you know, we printed the red dot. Possible we're bottoming out soon. The 2-hour looks like we potentially could bottom soon. However, we did just get the money flow cross under on the 2-hour. The last time this happened, you know, the money flow crossing under on the 2-hour, it gave us this kind of move right here, right? So that's something to keep in mind. The 1-hour looks like we are really starting to form a bottom, but at the same time, the money flow looks like it's starting to curve under. The 24-minute just printed some purple money flow. The half-hour time frame, money flow kind of crossing under. We'll really see what happens here in the next little amount of time, because, you know, if we come down here and we play the game that we like of, you know, red dot, green dot, and we get that bullish divergence right down here, you know, for me, that's a bullish sign that we could take a long there. I know I'm kind of rambling here. I'm going to get into the real TA in a second, but this is pertinent to currently what's happening on the chart, so I just want to talk about it first. Yeah, something else to take a look at is the fact that the bottom of the triangle lines up perfectly with the golden pocket here. If we zoom out a little bit on the 4-hour, and we just take a look, this fib pull is pulled from the last high to the last low. So I pulled it from this high up here down to this low. Nope, that can't be right. Where did I pull this thing from? I must have pulled it from this high up here down to this low. Nope, that can't be right either. What in the world? Hang on, guys. That's why they call me Jason. Where did I pull that fib from, Casper? Okay, so I pulled it from this low right here to this high, right? Just the most recent swing low to the most recent swing high. And we do have some confluence right down here in the golden ratio. So to be honest with you guys, if we don't continue up from here, if we don't continue up from this daily level, which is also the 0.5 fib level, right? Some confluence right here, also just a level of support that we can see with our eyes, then I would really be expecting us to come down here and look for the long down there with the bullish divergences, especially if we're getting the divergence on the 24-minute. Honestly, a great long setup would be if we come down and put in a lower low, and this thing gives us a higher low on the 24-minute. That would be a really nice long, in my opinion. Yeah, but things are kind of looking bearish as far as money flow goes. Okay, so let's get into the real analysis right here. Not that this wasn't real analysis, right? But okay, so weekly time frame. Very possible that we are going to get a green dot soon. And we're still in our range that we've been in for a very long time, since January. The only thing to notice, guys, is that yesterday we did close a weekly candle below this very important fib level. This is a very important fib level. The 0.5 fib level from the March 2020 dump to the all-time high is the first time ever since May 19th, when we had that massive dump, that we've closed the candle below this level. And something quite scary is we open up our weekly candle, we try to come above here, and we get rejected immediately. So this is not looking so great, guys. Another thing to keep in mind on the daily time frame, we can see today we came up, tried to come above that this channel. This channel has been acting as our resistance, ever since June 29th. And it's the top of the channel. It's a fib level, and it's also the daily 21 EMA. And we know that if we are moving in a downtrend, that the 21 EMA on the daily, or pretty much any time frame, but especially on the daily, that 21 EMA is going to be our resistance. And the fact that we rejected off of all these levels of resistance, to me, shows a sign of weakness, at least in the immediate short term for Bitcoin, because unless we come back up and come above this level here, I think we're gonna see more downward price action. And if we break down out of this triangle, like I said, then I think this floor here of support is still I think we'll probably start closing candles below here. But until that happens, we just got to trade the levels that we're given. So let's talk about it. First, we've got our weekly levels of support and resistance. Not much has changed, guys, since last week. So I'll just quickly go through them and show you which ones I have. I have 19,164. Wait a second. I have a discrepancy here. It's 18,201. The weekly level is 18,201. And then I have 32,285. I have 34,700, 39,061, 45,107, 58,225, and then 60K as well. These are the weekly levels that I'm using. And then I've got the dailies, which are right here. So let's take a look. We've got 22,710, 26,202, and I'm going to put these in the Discord as usual after the stream. 3385, 31.6, 33347, 35595, 35925. Is that true? Do I have two levels like that? Let's take a look at the daily time frame. Yep, I've got that level right here. Yeah, so these are very close to each other. So be looking at this more as a zone of resistance. We've got 40,622. So, and of course, we've got 49,924. And this right here, 42.6, this is just an important level that I have marked here based on some various confluences that I found. It's an important level just to keep an eye on. It's like the average of all the resistances that we have up at the top here is around 42.6. Then of course we have the miscellaneous support and resistance levels. So yeah, like 42.6 is right in the middle of this box of resistance right up here. This is the top of our range. This blue box here is the support of our range down here. And then these lower levels are just marking wick lows, right? So I'm going back to January. I'm looking, where did we dump down to? You know, if we lose 30K, the next place that we're going to be looking for a bounce is right here at 27.7, because that was this low wick down here in the beginning of January. And a lot of times what will happen is we'll come down, we'll take out that low just by a little bit. There's a lot of liquidity there, and boom, we come back up. And that's where the chickens are drinking water. That's where we see the bullish divergences forming as we come to a level. The technical term for that is called a swing failure pattern, but I like to call it the chickens are drinking water pattern, because I'm a redneck, and that's how we roll out here. That is how we roll. Then we have our volume. So for the volume, this is basically this is the value area high, the point of control, and then the value area low of the ranges that we've got going on here. So we have a range from 42K, and we have a range from 51K. The range from 51K, if you guys remember, the reason why we're pulling our range from that level is because if we go to the weekly time frame and we turn on the visible range indicator, and we're looking at all the history of Bybit trading, you know, we have this level up here. Well, now it's about 50K. So I pulled the range from 50K. This is the global value area high right up here. And the reason this is significant is because, remember, if we're looking at the visible range, it's giving us the volume profile on the side of all the price action that's visible on the screen. And the shaded areas that's highlighted, this is what's considered fair value for Bitcoin. That's why this is called the value area. And what's above that and what's below that is considered above and below fair value. And so this is the highest point of Bitcoin being within that value range, which is why we call it the value area high. And when we lost this value area high, we're keeping track of all the volume that got traded in Bitcoin underneath this level, because it's significant that we're now trading under that level. So I'm going to analyze volume only from underneath that level. And if we come back here, we can see that, let me turn off the visible range. We can see that this is now giving us here, we've got the point of control coming in right here at 33963. We have the value area low coming in about 32.5. And this value area high / high volume node, this is not the actual value area high of the range. That's coming in about 39,187. So I'm actually going to put that there. 39,187 is the value area high. But the level I have right there, the 37.6 level, the reason I have that marked out is because it's actually a combination of a different range that we have right here from 42K, and it's also just a very high volume area. So I have it marked out right here. 37,679 is a very significant level. It's a high volume node. If we just turn on the regular VPVR indicator, we can see there's a huge spike in volume right here. And then if we pull a visible range from the loss of the January all-time high, let's go to a 4-hour chart so we can see this a little bit better. But if we pull our visible range from the loss of the January all-time high, which happened right around here, we can see that the value area high lines up perfectly with that high volume node. So that's why I have this as a significant level. And of course, this right here is a point of control at 34,561. I'm going to mark this out, point of control at 34,561. And if anybody's new here, let me just quickly explain. So the point of control, again, I'm looking at volume. This right here is analyzing volume within a certain fixed range of price action. So I'm deciding that I want to analyze the price action from the time that we lost the all-time high back here in January. This level here became a very significant level of support once we came above that level. And then once we come back below that level, I'm analyzing all the volume that got traded below that level. And only analyzing this volume here, this is giving us a value area where it's considered a fair price in between 32.4 and 37.8. Above it is considered overvalued, below it is considered undervalued. So we can use these areas as areas of support and resistance, and that's all I'm doing here. And so this point of control is where the most volume was traded ever since we lost 42K. That's this white line right here. And this will act as support when we're above it and resistance when we are below it. And of course right now, the moving average, the 21 moving average on the daily is pushing us down here. That's why we had such a good short opportunity this morning where we came right to the golden pocket. We came right to the point of control. We came right to the 21 EMA on the daily. And so now we're getting a rejection from there, and it looks like, to be honest with you guys, we might see some more downward movement, right? We're getting the red dot on the daily time frame, which we're not getting it yet, but it looks like we might, and tomorrow. So I think things overall, I'm leaning more bearish than I am bullish today. I'm leaning overall bearish today. So that's the volume. If we just take a look at some more high volume areas that I'm keeping my eyes on, I have a whole bunch of high volume nodes here that I think are important levels. We've got this high volume node, which is our current point of control at 34,593. We have this high volume node at 31.6. And honestly, guys, if we're going to dip down here, to this 31.6 level, I view this as the last floor of support that we have until we come down to lower levels, because look at how we've been treating this. We were able to wick. Every time we wick down, we come lower and lower, right? Until now, on the daily, the candle bodies actually are closing and opening below here. So if we come down to this level again and we don't get a nice bounce from it, then that's why I think we're going to see lower levels. Then we've got, so we have 31,675 as a high volume node. We have 34,593 as a high volume node. 35,367. 35,850. This is the old point of control that we had back before we were trading in this little last week. This was the old point of control right here. Still a high volume node, still a very significant level, 35.8, a very significant level, one to keep your eyes on if we're coming back up to there. Then we have 36.8, 38.772. And I'm going to put all these on, all these levels that we just went over, I'm going to put them into the Discord so you can copy them onto your own chart. There's a lot of levels here, so because we're trading in such a tightly confined space, we have a lot of levels, and so our main job is to look for confluence. As we're coming to these levels, we want to find confluence, and that's where we're going to get the best trades. So let's come down to the hourly right here and see what's happening here. So yeah, looks like that daily, we'll see what happens, right? We'll have to see what happens. Perhaps we'll get something like this, right, where we did get a bounce off the daily but came lower before we got another bounce. But yeah, it really looks like we're going to lose this level right now. Let's see. Yeah, so let's just talk about real quick. Let's talk about some trade setups that I'm looking for with Bitcoin within the near future. Now, obviously, the short positions are still valid from last week, but I can go over them again because until we lose the range, these shorts are still potential things that can play out. So we have our high of the range where, you know, we're looking to short from. The best place to look for a short is between 40 and 42K. So if we turn on the miscellaneous support and resistance levels here, and we even turn on the daily levels, and even some of the volume levels, you know, anywhere, once we get up to 40.6 and above, these are areas to look for shorts, right? Because we're still trading in the range. And so if we see that we're coming up to here and we're getting bearish divergences, we know to take the short, right? We know to take the short. And so that would basically be something like this. You know, let's say we come up right into the box, we get bearish divergence. We would just trade this back all the way down to the bottom, right? All the way back down to the bottom. A really nice move, 38.5% move right there. It's really nice. Second place to look for a short and more in the immediate would be if we take our fib from the really, if we take our fib from this high. Let me see, actually. Yeah, these are some shorts that I think could really play out pretty soon. Hang on, let me turn off the dailies and this here. But if this fib is pulled from this high way up here to this low way down here, and if we come up again, I would be looking for another short out of this golden pocket, because the first time we got the short, you can see we just barely came up to the 618. If we turn on our high volume nodes, we can see that we have that high volume node, that 36.8 K level right in here that we never actually hit when we got that first rejection. So I would be looking for price to, you know, if we are going to break out of this, which, you know, you could say this is the channel that we're trading in, right? If we break up, I would be looking for price to come into this area right here, and then we get our bearish divergences. That would just make for the most perfect short in the world. We would enter it, you know, as we're coming up in there with the bearish divergences, and we set our take profits back down to the low of the range. So we'd be targeting like 31.6K. At, you know, take profit 1 for me would be, I would just do these fib levels, right? The 0.5, the 382. You know, this is one trade setup that I would be looking for this week. And of course, if we blast through this this golden ratio right here, then we also do have. Hang on, what else do we have? We have confluence up here with a high volume node and the 786 level. So really, the shorts in the immediate short term would be from right here in this golden ratio between 36.5 and 36.9. And then looking to short from up here at about 38,677 and 50 cents. These would be two really nice shorts, and I'm talking swing trade shorts here, guys. I'm not talking about like scalps or day trades. And then in the immediate short term, as far as longs would go, well, of course we have our golden pocket down here that's finding confluence. Right down here with the hang on, let's turn back on this here. Yeah, confluence with the triangle, right, that we saw on the daily. We got a trend line right here. We've got a 618 right here, and you know, I definitely would look to, if we lose this daily support that we've got going on right now. And let me actually just real quick turn on that daily level. Yeah, so if we lose that daily support, the next place I'm looking to catch along would be right down in here, right? If we wick down, take the long out of there, and, you know, to me that would be something like this, where obviously our first take profit would be the daily level, and we'd take profit up along the way. And most of the time, guys, in this trading environment, what I'm doing is I'm taking 30% of my trade out right away, unless it's a very small move. I feel like we're not going to, then I'll take more, like 50, 60% out. But most of these trades, take profit 1 is 30%. Move the stop loss to the entry, and then you could take, another 20% out at each take profit, 10 to 20%, whatever you want. It doesn't matter, but as long as you're locking in that as a win, stop loss to entry, 30% of the trade taken out, you are going to do wonders for your account, because even if it's not the best trade, you're still going to do all right. Like, for example, let's just say, for an example, you took this trade off the daily, and I'm not saying that I'm not saying it's a bad trade, but it was a good trade. Look at this. But let's say, you hit your first take profit right up here. Boom, take 30% of the trade, move your stop loss to the entry. You're stopped out now, right? You're stopped out, but you still made a nice move here. And, analyzing the lower time frames, let's say now, we got our bullish divergences, and now you see, okay, we came back down for a retest. We held it as support with a higher high, and we're also getting upward momentum on Market Cipher. You can enter back into the trade again, right? There's nothing wrong with getting back into a trade as long as you still have your confirmations. And, then same deal, right? If this really is a bounce, then you hit your take profit 1 up here again, 30%, stop loss to the entry, and you just ride the rest up. It's like a win-win situation right there. It's like a win-win situation. So that's the first long I'd be looking to take. The second long, let me come back to a higher time frame. If we fall through that 618, then of course I'm looking for the I'm looking for the 31.6 region, and we also have, this daily level right down here. We have double support down here, and even so, I'm pretty sure, let me just see something here. We have double support down there, and yeah, look at that too, guys. I know this is quite sloppy, so let me fix it up for us. Yeah, here we go. This is much cleaner. So we can see down here we've got the golden pocket, we have a high volume node, and we have a daily level all right here. And this is, I'm pulling the fib from the swing low down here, the swing low that we got on June 22nd. This is the long that I took up to this high up here. And, the golden pocket retracement would be right down here. This, as we can see, is a very, very, very important level of support. This is why I'm saying if we lose this support, guys, I think we're going to see in the 20,000s again. And so that would be a really nice long position as well. Now, again, these are swing trades, guys. Besides the golden pocket, from today, where, we're coming down to it right around here at the 32.9-ish level. That might happen today, potentially. But, later on, maybe down the road, maybe in a few days, maybe in a week, 3 days or something, or today, if we get a massive dump, right, be really watching to see what happens as we come to these levels. Now, something to keep in mind, right? We can't just enter a trade because we're coming to a level. Everything has to line up, especially in these types of markets. You want to see everything line up for the best possible trade entries. The best possible trade entries. We're going to see multiple things lining up. So, for example, the short that I missed, right? I missed the short. I missed it. That's okay. I'll wait for the next trade. We came to a golden pocket. We came to a high volume node, right? We came to, did we come to a daily level? No, we didn't come to a daily level. We came to a golden pocket, we came to a high volume node, and we came to the top of a channel. We came right to the top of a channel. We had 3 things of confluence. We come to the hour time frame, and we have a bearish divergence on the hour time frame. These are the types of trade setups, guys, where if you just wait for this, and even if you're only taking 1-2 trades a week, if you just wait for these trades, you're going to have like a very impressive win rate, okay? It's low risk, high probability setups. This is what we are looking for. You know, and we've gotten a lot of these. We've gotten so many of these in the past, you know, in the past few weeks, right? This was one of them right here. This was a perfect example. We came right up to. This was also a golden pocket right here. We got the bearish divergence on the hourly, coming right up to a golden pocket, and the point of control come right down from there. This here was not the same, but we did have divergences on lower time frames. Wait a second. No, this was a bearish divergence as well on the 1 hour time frame. And we just get a drop from here. So, if we have our levels marked out and we're getting such clear signals, don't feel like you need to be in a trade every day. Don't feel like you need to be always in a trade, right? Especially if you're new at this. Just chill out, wait for those perfect setups to happen, right? If we come down to this here, let me the nearest potential good setup that I see here is this fib right here. You got the bounce with the 382, the 0.5. If we come down to this golden pocket right here, right between about 33K, we've got the golden pocket right there. We have we're finding support at our daily level. So this could be the bottom. It could be. And if you longed here, that's not a bad long. But, if we come down to the golden pocket here, and the 1 hour time frame is going to give us some kind of, like, let's say we bounce up off the daily, and then we come down even lower, right? What will probably happen is the VWAP will cross over. We'll print a green dot on the hourly, and then we'll print a red dot right away on the hourly, and we'll get just like what happened up here, but upside down, right? That's, if you see divergence on the 1 hour, that's like the best way to go. If we invert this scale here, invert the scale, this is what you would want to see. You'd want to see a green dot, a red dot, and a green dot. I just inverted it, so it's the opposite of what we were waiting to see. But that's how you're going to get those best trade setups, and they're low risk and they're chill. Everything's super chill. So yeah, that's kind of it for Bitcoin, guys. For right now, we have the trade setups that I'm actually currently looking for, and that's just what I'll be waiting for. To be honest with you, I'm not trying to be in tons of trades right now. Of course, if I see something obvious, then I will take it and I will post about it as well. But unless we're getting like massive divergence or something like that, I'm just gonna take a more relaxed approach. All right, so let's get into Ethereum. Let's get into good old Ethereum, and then we'll do some Q's and A's, right? This is Bitcoin. Oh, and just so everyone knows, I'm still long. I'm still long for Bitcoin. I'm still in 2 longs, okay? I'm still long from down here, and I'm still long from even lower. My stop loss is a little bit above my entry, and I had a buy order set. I've hit 2 take profits so far for this long down here, and I'm just going to let the rest ride. And same with this long right here. Hit 2 take profits, going to let the rest ride, hoping that we get back to the top of the range, right? Hoping that we get back to the top of the range. We shall see. We shall see. Okay, Ethereum. Good old Ethereum, our good friend. We've got some stuff going on here. Let me clean up the chart a little bit, and we'll get right into it. So first of all, potentially we've got this trend line coming down up here, where we have it respected twice, and then again we wicked up perfectly right to that trend line, and got a rejection from it. And we know also that not only was that the trend line, but that was also pretty sure that was the was that the fib? I guess if you pulled your fib from right here at this high, then yes, that was a fib short. Right there, the 618. Look at that. Wow, that's pretty intense, actually. That's pretty intense. So yeah, I was you know, as many of you know, this was a this short right here. If we go to the 3-hour time frame, we had a massive bearish divergence on the 3-hour time frame. These are the types of trades, guys, like this one right here, short. This one right here, short. For Ethereum has been giving these crazy signals. So I recommend, honestly, guys, like if you're trading Bitcoin and Ethereum, you know what I've been doing lately is I've been setting alerts on the 1 hour and the 12-minute red dots. Because if you're getting a 1 hour red dot, you can kind of tell if there's a divergence forming right away. If you're getting a 12-minute red dot, you can catch it before it confirms on the 1 hour. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of alerts, but it's worth it to just check your dang phone every time you get a 12-minute red dot, just to see if there's any divergences, just to see if we're at a level, right? So I you know, potentially we've got this descending triangle forming here, which is potential because, you know, this is we're talking from May 19th, and because we came up and rejected perfectly off this line again, it's making potentially that we've got this descending triangle here, which we know is a bearish pattern, right? Technically, textbookly, if we're going to read a book on basic trading patterns, it would tell us that this is a bearish pattern. But of course, it doesn't have to be a bearish pattern. We could break up out of this thing. Absolutely, we could break up out of this thing. So we had the short, and now we're finding some support right here. In fact, we're finding support on a high volume node right down here at about 2,119. We lost that a little bit, but you know, you can see ever since the massive drop that we got last week, we're just consolidating right here. So let's go over some daily levels. Let's go over some weeklies. Then we'll do volume and fib, and we'll talk about some potential trade setups. So well, first of all, we do have a level here. Let me see. Oh yeah, let's just do the weekly levels. So we've got a weekly level at 23.25. Well, okay, first we have one at 39.25, right up here at the high of these candle closes. Then our most recent weekly level is at the close of just yesterday, right? We've got the candle body open and close. Close and open right up here at 23.25. So this is now a very significant resistance that we should be looking for on the weekly time frame. Then, of course, right down here we've got 1688 because of these candle body open close, and we wicked perfectly down to it a couple of weeks ago. We got right down here at 1311 right here, right, and then wick down to it again right here around 589, right? We see all this kind of consolidation here, and this is pretty amazing. You know, Ethereum. You know what Ethereum looks like, guys. I hate to be that guy, but Ethereum looks like Ethereum is looking like Bitcoin looked back in the crash of 2018. You know, this is the weekly time frame. You know, if we go back to the weekly time frame for Bitcoin in 2017, 2018, you know, we had this massive spike and then just a drop down, and that's kind of like what we're having here, right? It's quite similar, right? Come down, come up, come down, come up a little bit. You know, we come down, come up, come down, come up a little bit. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just saying it looks kind of similar. So this kind of thing is what you'd expect at the end of a bull cycle. Definitely not something that we saw like this, right? This just doesn't look too typical. If we're just going to go by past price action, this kind of flat top here, right? Anyway, I digress. So these are the weekly levels I got on here. Then these are the daily levels. I have 4,081. I have 2,887. I have 2,768. Let me get back to the daily time frame so we can actually see this on the right time frame. Yeah, 2,888 right up here. And then I have 2,768 from right back here. We can see this level very clearly. 2277. This level was very much so respected. I still have it on my chart, even though we haven't been respecting it so much lately. And then, of course, the 2137. This is the level that just recently we have been unable to get above. Right, for 4 days in a row, it's been our resistance, so I have it marked as significant, 2137. Then 1042, that's an important daily level from back here. The close of the candles, this is as low as we can go. We have 2 wicks right down to this level. So these are my dailies and my weeklies together. And then, really, guys, I have, for my volume, I have a whole bunch of high volume nodes marked out on here, because there's a lot of spikes in volume that I think are significant. And instead of pulling fixed ranges from everywhere, I just kind of went with the VPVR indicator and just kind of marked these levels out. And basically, here's the significant ones that I think we've got going on here. Let me just kind of show you, because it's hard to see everything on the screen at the same time. So I'm just going to show you the levels that I have here. So first of all, I have 1,220 as an important high volume node. And then we have 1,750 as an important high volume node. 2,119 as an important high volume node. And then right up here, 2,424 as an important high volume node. Then I do have here a fixed range that I pulled from, well, before I get into the fixed range, I have the global value area high and the global value area low. If we go to the weekly time frame and we turn on our VPVR indicator, we can see that we have 2 significant levels. One is up here. Wait a second, why do I have... Okay, so this is the global value area low down here at about 926. I'm not sure why... Hang on. Now I don't remember how I got this level, but I know it's important, otherwise I wouldn't have put it on the chart. Do we even see a spike of volume right there? This must be a value area level. Oh, you know what I might have done? I might have not been looking at the whole entire price action here. Yeah, I think that's what happened. I have been looking at the entire price action here. Interesting. Okay. So, let me just actually... Okay, so, from the time that we break above... Let me put on some levels again. Yeah, so I think it's significant. From the time that we break above this weekly level down here, which we can see begins the impulse up, right? Once we break above 572, we see a massive impulse to the upside. So this value area high up here at 2852, I think, is also very significant, just because from the impulse up, analyzing this price action, that is our value area high. So I am going to keep that on my chart. Another level, though, is the actual global value area high, which comes in at about 3271. Let me just make this 3271. Whoopsie daisies. I love daisies, actually. They're beautiful flowers. Beautiful. I plant them for my wife, and we have wild ones that grow all over the place here. Okay, so this is not the real global value area high. This is just a value area high. I'm going to keep that on my chart. So then let's pull some fixed ranges here. Let's pull one from the time that we lose the global value area high. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame for that. No, you know what? I'm going to pull one from the time that we lose this value area high, because that to me seems much more significant. This resistance right here at about 28.52, this is such a significant resistance. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a fixed range from the time we lost that, and let's just take a look and see what we got going on there. Yeah, so where did we officially lose that? I say right here. Let's pull it. Okay, so we've got a point of control up here at about here. Let me turn off this. Yeah, I think these are also significant levels. So we've got a point of control coming in at about 25.98. And I think that's really, we've got a value area high up here, but I'm gonna not put that on the chart because we have another high volume node just a little bit higher, and then this, yeah, I'm not gonna put that either. Let me try something different here. Let's just pull it from this. Yeah, so we know we have a high volume node here where we're consolidating at. Yeah, I think that's really the only other line I'm going to put on my chart right now. POC 2598, 2598, enter. So yeah, these are all the levels I'm looking at here, guys. So we've got quite a few, right? We've got quite a few. I'm gonna put this into my good old Discord over here, but yeah. So let's take a look at some potential trade setups. So first of all, what we got is from the low to the high, we have our 618 coming in right about 1967. So potentially, be looking for a long off of that area. 1967. That would be an area to take a look at. Of course, because we're trading within this triangle here, obviously the best shorts will be taken from if we come back up to this daily, find confluence with the triangle, short it from there. Let's say we come up. If we come up to the triangle or even a little bit out of the triangle, really, there's a lot of different ways we could trade this, right? So, oh man, there's so many thoughts, right? So let's say for now, we come down. If we do come down, okay, let's assume price is gonna come up for now, okay? There's a few things we could do. One, we could take note of the fact that we have a high right here, and we could look for a swing failure pattern off of that, right? Where we come up, we get massive, everyone, we're coming to the resistance, all of a sudden we get this massive pump, and then we get the divergence forming. And when we get the divergence, that's where we would enter the short as we are, I guess, coming up above this past high here at 24.10, and then losing it, and we just set our stop loss above the last swing high and short it back down. This would be a very nice short. And of course, there's always the possibility that we don't come up to this previous high and we just stay within the triangle, right? So in that case, we have a very clear short entry in between this daily and then this weekly up here. So we're really going to be watching as if price is going to continue up from here. We're really going to be watching to see, are we going to come up to the daily? Do we see bearish divergences as we're touching the daily? We don't see them yet. We wait for the weekly and this high volume node, and then, you know, if we get that, then we could enter the short from here, and, you know, our take profits would be along the way down. If price comes down, then what are we going to be looking for? Well, first of all, we've got this golden ratio right here, okay? So this would be the first place I'd be looking to take a long. If we come down and the 4 hour is looking bullish and the 2 hour is looking bullish, which kind of is right now, right? But the 1 hour is also looking super bullish. So, you know, there's a few things that might happen, right? We might get the bullish divergence on the 1 hour, which would be a really nice entry. If we get the green dot here and we come up, we get a red dot here and then come down and get a green dot, right? You guys get what I'm saying? Just like this, okay, where we get the green dot, then we come up, we get the red dot, and then we get the green dot. We put in our low, and then we put in our lower low. With the momentum gave us a higher low, and what happens from there? Right? We just pump on up. We go right to Pump City. In fact, have you ever seen Pump City? Is that a real place? Let's see. Is it a real place? Pump City. Well, what do you know? Well, what do you know, guys? What do you know? Pump City. Here you go. These are real pictures of Pump City. Ah, here we go. Here we go. Welcome to fabulous Pump City. Okay, there you go. Now you guys know where we're going. If we get the bullish divergence on the hour. And yeah, so that's something very possible that could happen, okay? Now, something that seems bullish for Ethereum is the fact that, you know, on the 1 hour, right, we can see money flow curving up. So one of two things. Either we're going to get this, where we start printing higher highs on the money flow, or this is just a fake out, right? And then we come back down even lower. So we can't really know what's going to happen for now. If we go to the 4 hour, you know, things are looking like we might be coming down, but they also might be looking like we might be coming up, right? So it's hard to say. That's why we need to go through our series of confirmations, and when we come to a level, we look at all the time frames and say, what are they telling us? And that's where we enter our trades from. Okay, so this would be a nice long position from here, and then of course, you know, looking to the lower levels, looking down to the lower levels, we've got let's see if we have any kind of hey, you know, I have a daily and a weekly also here. Hang on, I'm sorry about that, guys. I have a weekly level at at 1936, and I have a daily level at 1965. Yeah, so that's even giving us more confluence there for that golden pocket, right? We got a daily right at 1965. That was a good year too, guys. I don't know if you guys remember that year, but that was a nice year, right? I had a lot of fun that year. I was a junior in high school, had my first girlfriend ever. She was beautiful. She had one blue eye and one brown eye. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? People don't think I'm that old, right? And I'm not, guys. I'm joking with y'all. I'm 30. I'm 30 years old. If anybody didn't know, I'm 30. So, yeah, we digression. If we lose that now, obviously we're looking to come down to this support again for another potential bounce. But you know, if we lose, guys, if this is a descending triangle and we lose it, I think we are going to see very low Ethereum price. And if Ethereum starts to tank, we know all the altcoins are going to tank. And it's possible Bitcoin could come down too. But remember, like, Ethereum has had such a drastic pump and dump. So drastic. It's been so drastic. 61%. When Bitcoin has only had a... Actually, has Bitcoin gotten to that level too? No, Bitcoin's only had a 55%. So Ethereum's has taken the hit much harder than Bitcoin. But here's the thing that we need to keep in mind here, which is the fact that, you know, if we're going to take a trend-based fib extension and just analyze this, if this truly is a downtrend where we have our high, we have our low, we have our lower high, we have our lower low, our lower high, our lower low, our lower high, and then we're going to put in a lower low somewhere down here. If we take a just a trend-based fib extension, right, and we're taking it from this high down to this low, and then back up to this high right here. So I'm basically taking it from this high to this low, and then back up to this high right here, right? Just 3 points in a potential downtrend. Then these are some of the targets that we could possibly have, guys. You know, I don't think I don't think we're going to come all the way down here, but I think a realistic one, a very realistic one, is the 1-to-1 extension right down here around 1160. The reason for that is not only is it the next, because a lot of times the 1-to-1 extension in a trend-based extension, that's where we're going to get to, right? If we have a very impulsive move and then we start to consolidate in a continuation pattern, we're usually going to come down and do another 100% move, right? So it's very possible that we could come down to here, which also we can see is just a high volume area, right? We have a high volume node right down here as well. So I do think if we break out of this triangle, we could very well see us come down to, like, you know, anywhere between like 1165 and like 1200, which I don't think is that crazy really. So if we start to break down from this triangle, you know, definitely be looking for a short position if we get a breakdown and a retest and we're still have negative momentum. But then really, you know, as far as longs could go, be looking from down in this area as well. But yeah, I don't mean to be like the bearer of bad news, but you know, we just need to be realistic about these things. So let's look at some other fib pulls here and see if we can get some other confluence. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the volume. So I have this fib pull here from the high to the low, right? From this high up here all the way to this low right here, which gives us a nice 618 right in here at about 3,400. Just a resistance to be aware of, right? If we break upwards out of this triangle, a resistance to be aware of. This right here is our most recent fib pull. Yeah, so really, guys, for Ethereum, like right now for like this week, the shorts that I'm looking to take are up here in this general zone where we have the trend line, the weekly. Actually, do we even have? Do we have a? Yeah, okay. So look at this, guys. Look at this too. Just something to be aware of. We do have from this high up here, and actually, you know, yeah, look at this, guys. Look at this. We take from, whoa, Bitcoin's back at the daily, I guess. Sorry, guys. Sorry for that. Yeah, Bitcoin's back at the daily. Looks like we're losing the daily here. Looks like we're losing it. Yeah, so for shorts for Ethereum, definitely be looking up here, okay? Longs for Ethereum, you know, start looking down here. There's a lot of confluence. A lot of confluence. Yeah, right up at the top of this trend line, guys. There's a lot of confluence up here. Definitely be looking for a short up here. In between this trend line and this area. Definitely look for a long down here and then a long from down here. And other than that, yeah, I don't really know, unless we're going to look at this as a potential on Ethereum, you know, a potential head and shoulders pattern that we got. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Where this would be the neckline. and we break down, that would probably take us down to about right here if we break down into that head and shoulders pattern. So just something else to keep in mind if you're trading head and shoulders patterns. But yeah, the 12-hour looking super bearish right now on Ethereum. So yeah, that's kind of it. That's kind of where I'm thinking, guys. If we're dumping, I'm looking for longs. If we're pumping, I'm looking for shorts. It's a new week. We know there's going to be a lot of trading opportunities here. I'm going to upload these levels into the Discord for y'all, and let me pop into the chat and see if we have any questions or whatever. All right, let's see. The 4-hour time frame has a bearish divergence. What's going on, Leroy Tan? Leroy Tan, you know, he's the kind of guy who looks very different in Discord than he does on YouTube. What's up, Blues? What's up, Easy Going? All right, so Usman Asif says 4-hour bearish divergence. Let's check it out. Are we talking Bitcoin or Ethereum? For Bitcoin, I don't see a bearish divergence on the 4-hour. Are we talking Ethereum? I don't see that either. Maybe let me know what you mean, man. Is it a dead cat bounce? Yeah, it could be a dead cat bounce. Yeah, that 1-hour bearish div played out perfectly last night. Many times they do play out perfectly. And Sam Marie says that they saw it and didn't enter, being scared money over here. Haha. Yeah, you know, if you just wait for those good setups with you know, if you see there's a 618 there and a whole bunch of confluence, might as well just go for it, because, right, we have to be comfortable taking risks. That's part of trading. What's up, Obi-Wan Bitcoin Obi? The trail breaker. We also had a head and shoulders on the momentum wave on the 1-hour. Yep, we had a head and shoulders also on the price action there. In fact, I was talking about that this morning in the Discord in here. I'll probably never be able to find it now, right? There's no way. There's no way I'll ever find it now. Maybe I can, though. Maybe I can. When was that? Yeah, I might be able to find it, guys. Yeah, right here. I mean, it's really... It was on my phone, right? So it was like hard to see, but we had a little head and shoulders thing going on there, and we broke out of it and we hit it perfectly. There was just so much confluence right here. You know, I could have taken a short. What's going on, Leroy Tan? Typing in the Discord. You know, he's in here typing right now. Yeah, here he is. See, dude looks so different on Discord than he does on YouTube, right? Looks like a white guy here. Come on to YouTube, Asian dude. So misspelled is laughing. Let's see. J-Boy Bullish is waiting to see if we can come to the bottom of the triangle. JMF Hunt 19. Overall, would you call that a bullish divergence on the daily? Well, let's check it out. Let's check it out. I would not call this a bullish divergence. If you're talking from down here, then yes. You know, overall, we do have direction of price coming down overall as momentum is coming up, right? So yes, I would consider this bullishly diverging overall. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. But because the consolidation is so tight, I feel like it's more of a neutral consolidation. If I had to say, my gut feeling tells me we're probably going to get an unexpected Bitcoin pump at some time, when all hope is lost. When all hope is lost. So Jason Jones prefers it going down so he can buy more. Pim Poles says, like the stream though, guys. Yeah, I mean, you don't really have to like it. This is a private stream. The reason I want people to like the public streams is because it makes YouTube put me in more people's suggested videos. But I don't know. I don't know if that happens or not, actually. Shout out to Davo9185, who's short. Evan Aldo, thoughts on the rumor that Apple bought Bitcoin? I don't know, man. I haven't been paying attention to any kind of news. I don't even know what's going on in my own country right now. Anyone know how to access the object tree on TradingView? Yeah, so here's how. The object tree is down here on the right. This little thing right here. This 3-layer. And also, guys, I don't know if you guys knew this, but I did post a video recently doing a TradingView tutorial right here. So this is an hour-long TradingView tutorial, which will go through, you know, basically all the features of TradingView. So if you don't know where anything is, you can check this out. If anybody wants to timestamp this for me, that would be very awesome. But I have to get to that eventually. All right, let's come back here. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Tombots. Bitcoin dominance. Money flow on the daily is crossing over. Yeah, I've no, this is not what I want. I forget the Bitcoin dominance chart right now. Someone pop it in the chat. Let me see. Do I even have it on my... No, I don't. Yeah, let's take a look at that, though. Happy Boot, can I check XRP? I'm not doing XRPTA for right now. I will in the fall. Yep, Pump City is right down the road from Dump City. Samarie found the object tree. Hutch, what's going on, Hutch? When looking at divergences, are we only connecting red dots on bearish div and green dots on bullish div? Can you connect matching color dots regardless? Personally, I only do, if I'm doing a bullish divergence, personally, I'm only connecting lows and lows, okay? I'm not connecting highs and lows. I'm only connecting lows and lows. So, like, for example, let's see, I know recently you could say, like, maybe this is not a good example, actually, but I've seen people drawing their divergences where they're, like, connecting lows with highs, and I don't do that. I only connect lows with lows and highs with highs. And you don't have to wait for the actual dot either, right? Like, obviously, if it's starting, like if you see that we're putting in a higher high, right, before that red dot prints, you can already tell, all right, we're putting in a lower high, right? And on the lower time frames, you will see the divergences being confirmed. But on the higher time frames, you will not. So, let's see here. Cardano full of blood diamonds on higher lower. Man, that's not good because I'm a big hodler of Cardano. Leroy says Leroy is more handsome in Discord. Hey, Leroy, you know, I have to agree with you. Usually, I don't judge dudes based on their attractiveness, but in Discord, yeah, man, you're a pretty good looking guy. Renee Carpenter, my humble opinion for Bitcoin near future. I don't know, Renee, but you know, in my gut, I feel that we're not over. I feel like we're not over, and I will be holding on to that gut feeling until I'm sitting there holding my bag of $800 Bitcoins. Just kidding, but I don't know. I don't know. Hidden bullish divergence on the weekly. Alexandru said on the course I'll make a video on how I trade alts. That's not in the course. I think it should be. If it's not, I'll have to put it in there. But that video I did on alts was specifically for a bull market. If we're in a normal market, you trade alts the same way you trade Bitcoin. But I will be updating content in that course as time goes on. I'm currently working on new content to constantly add to it. Yeah, this could be a dead cat bounce. Hidden bullish div on the weekly. Let's check it out. Yeah, I don't see it. Are we talking Ethereum or Bitcoin? I don't see a bullish div on the weekly. Are you talking about the VWAP? Like, what do you mean? Ivan, do I see more downside for ETH? I think it's very likely if we, for ETH, break down from this guy. Where is this guy? This guy. This kind of triangle thing we got going on. That, yeah, we're going to see more downside for sure. Potentially down to, give or take, the this level right down here. Right about 1228. I think that's very possible. If we lose this support, this is really the next support right here. But until then, you know, we have our plan. Go back and rewatch the stream where I'm telling you where I'm looking to long, where I'm looking to short Ethereum. So which section of Discord do I post the trading levels? Right here where it says trading levels. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, guys. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. There we go. So this is the daily. Looks like money flow is about to cross over. Wow. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. The weekly. Right at the peak of money flow. 6 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour. Huh. Interesting. Are hidden divergences important? I rarely or didn't hear you mention them. I usually don't differentiate. Jason Jones, is it VIP2? It is, but you know what? I got rid of VIP1. I just made everything one thing for $45 a month, and I'm going to keep it that way from now on. But Jason, if you are you still VIP1? Hit me up in Discord, Jason. Hit me up in the Discord, man. Are hidden divergences important? I rarely or didn't hear you mention them. Yeah, they are important, but I usually don't differentiate. I don't differentiate. They're very important. Here, let me just basically. Wow, Bitcoin dominance is dumping right now. So. Wow, look at this. On the 12-minute, we just put in another bullish divergence for Bitcoin. This is bullishly diverging. Hidden divergence would be something like this, right? Where we have a momentum wave here, and then we're printing a whole bunch of other momentum waves, but then later down the road we have a lower momentum wave. So this would be considered a hidden divergence, where price comes up and momentum comes down, as opposed to a regular divergence, which is something more like this right here, where we just have a high, then a higher high, and the momentum waves still, you know, the higher wave, and then the very next one is a lower wave. That's really the only difference. They're both important. Really, the hidden divergences, if you think about this, hidden divergences are showing you regular divergences on higher time frames, right? So on the 12-minute, we can see this massive hidden divergence right here, right before the drop, right? We have the high, we have the higher high, we have the drop. Well, go to the 1 hour time frame. And on the 1 hour time frame, actually I'm totally wrong about this. I was thinking that the 1 hour time frame, this regular divergence was a hidden divergence, but yeah, actually let's check that out. Let's start on the hour time frame, because on the 1 hour time frame we have a regular bearish divergence where we've just got the high, we've got the higher high, and then we've got the high, and then we've got the lower high. So let's go down to the 12-minute and see what that looks like on the 12-minute. Interesting, on the 12-minute, you can't really tell, but yeah. So I guess the 1 hour is taking all this price action here, right? It's taking all these humps and putting them into one hump, right? And so hidden divergences on the 12-minute are showing us regular divergences on higher time frames because they're showing us more resolution. So I hope that makes sense, but that's how we have to think about hidden divergences. The hidden divergences on a lower time frame means there's a regular divergence on the higher time frame. So like on the 4 hour, and we might not always be able to see those divergences on the higher time frame, but on the 4 hour the other day, we had a very clear hidden bullish divergence on the 4 hour, right? This is a hidden divergence because we have other humps in between. But I'm sure if we had gone to like we can't. It's sometimes you're not going to be able to see it. You're not going to be able to see it, but we can kind of see. Actually, no, we can't see it at all. We cannot at all see these things in the higher time frames, but they're there. So the hidden divergences are kind of showing us what's happening on the bigger picture as far as divergences go. I hope that makes sense. I know I did a really bad job at explaining that, man. But they are very important, and you should look at both. You should look at hidden divergences and regular divergences. And if you can see a hidden and a regular happening at the same time, that's how you know that it's really going to be a good move. Like if you see hidden divergences on the 12-minute and regular divergences on the 12-minute and regular divergences on the 1 hour, the more you can see at the same time, the more you know it's going to be a very significant move. I'll say so. NOM does not have Market Cipher and uses the regular RSI for divergences. Are the 12 and 24 useful for me? Yeah, I mean, honestly, I haven't used the regular RSI in a long time. But yeah, I think they're still important. Yeah, I would say they're still important. Yeah, I mean, really, we've got. Yeah, you can still use the regular RSI to find divergences. The only thing you're not going to be able to do with the RSI, and why I like Market Cipher so much, is because Market Cipher will give you 3 different layers of confluence, right? So you can see divergences in the VWAP, divergences in the money flow, and divergences on the momentum waves. And the money flow will really tell you like how strong that divergence is going to be, right? So like if you see that we are getting a divergence on Market Cipher, but the money flow is coming up, we might not come down that much. And that's something that I found Market Cipher is very helpful for, like for filtering out the bad trades. But yeah, absolutely. If you don't have Market Cipher, you can use regular old RSI to find the divergences on the 12 and the 24-minute. Raz thought that hidden divergence was like price bottoms going up, momentum bottoms going down. Yes, that's correct. Price bottoms going up, momentum bottoms going down. That is a hidden divergence, yeah. Oh, you mean you're switching it upside down? You're saying so. The way you do it is price bottoms going up. Hang on, let me. Yeah, that is a divergence. That is the definition of a divergence is price and momentum is diverging. So if price bottoms are coming down and momentum bottoms are coming up, that's a bullish divergence. It's bullish because you have to think of it as price is coming down even though money and momentum is going up. That means Bitcoin is trading at a price lower than what it should be, and there needs to be a correction, and that correction will be upward. because things need to come back to equilibrium, as opposed to the opposite of that is when price pumps like this, right? Price is pumping. I mean, really, we could see the divergences from here all the way to here. Price is pumping, but we see momentum is coming down. We see money flow is coming down. We see that over time, the VWAP is also printing lower highs, right? This means that money's leaving Bitcoin, momentum is leaving Bitcoin, the VWAP, the volume weighted average price, is coming down, yet the price gets a massive pump. Now there really needs to be a correction, and that correction will be downward. That's the definition of a divergence. The oscillators and the price are doing the opposite things. It's showing you that there needs to be a correction soon because things are out of balance or whatever. So Evan Aldo likes what he's seeing on the lower time frames and 3-hour VWAP for a long. Do I agree? Well, I'm not looking to long here, to be honest with you. The VWAP on the 3-hour does look good. The VWAP on the 1 hour does look good as well. It's a little bit horizontal. Personally, I wouldn't long this. No, I would not. That's just me, man. I would wait for a better long entry. Of course, keep in mind I'm already long, but I personally would not long this simply because I already know what I'm waiting for, which is lower. But yeah, we see things bullishly diverging. I would want to wait. I would want to wait for lower. I would want to wait for lower. That's just me. We're not at a level, and that's the first step. For me entering a trade, we got to be at a level first. I don't have a level marked out here. That's why I really want to see us coming down to here, right? Coming down to this level here. I mean, look at the way, because here's how I'm looking at it. And don't get me wrong, we could come up from here, okay? We absolutely could. I don't like the reaction that we're getting off the daily, to be honest with you. It's lacking in my mind. I would want to see us come down a little lower and get a bounce out of that 618. Money flow is curving down. On the 24-minute, money flow just started curving down, right? And money flow to me is the most powerful indication. Because let's just take a look, right? What happens when money flow crosses from blue into purple? The vertical line, shoom, come way down. What happens when we cross from purple into blue? Shoom, way up. So what do you think is going to happen as we cross from blue into purple? I'm not saying shoom way down for certain, but just historically, the money flow is a very powerful indication, right? Last time we crossed from blue into purple, what did we get? We got massive move to the downside. So, where we are right now in the 24-minute, we're like the equivalent to right here, right now, where we just had a move to the downside. It looks like we're going to get a little bounce up, and then shoom, we come down again. That's what I think very well could happen, right? We might do something like this, shoom, come down again. What that would probably do is it would allow us to print a bullish divergence on the 24-minute, or even a bullish divergence on the 1 hour. And this is just my style, guys. Where I want to wait. I'd rather wait to have a really good trade set up, as opposed to getting in along just based on Market Cipher alone. Okay, I'm not saying you can't do that. Absolutely, you can. A lot of people do it, and they have great success. For me, I found my success has come with mixing Market Cipher with some TA, and just waiting for those good setups. Right? I'm already in 2 longs. They're already in profit. I'm already in profit net overall. There's no reason for me to get into a trade where I don't have all my confirmations and risk a loss, because I'm not, slow and steady. That's how I roll. But Evan Aldo, you don't have to do what I do. You do you, bro. The short that happened last night came to the weekly 34.7. Oh yeah, look at that too. Would you look at that too? Yeah, we came right up to the weekly. We came up right up to the golden pocket. We came right up to the top of the channel. We came right up to a high volume node. There was so much confidence for that short, and unfortunately, guys, I didn't take it. But it happens, I ain't concerned about it. I'll get the next one. So Jason Jones says ETH hit his level and it showed support, big bullish divergence on the 15-minute, but price is still falling. So Jason Jones, here's something important that I feel like I probably don't do a very good job at explaining too often, but the order of operations that I use to get into a trade is, first price has to come to a level. The second step is looking at those higher time frames, right? Just because we see bullish divergences on a lower time frame doesn't mean we're going to get a reaction off of that level. We should only be looking at the 15-minute after we've already looked at the 4-hour, the 2-hour, and the 1-hour. So if we come to the 4-hour, it's not looking too bullish. If we come to the 2-hour, we come to the 1-hour. Like, look at the VWAP. It's very sad, right? The VWAP is very sad. I would want to, and then we come to like the 30-minute, we've just crossed over into the purple money flow. So, what I like to do is I want to make sure that I'm really getting, well, first of all, the more confidence you can get at a level, the better. But so we came down to a level. But, and we can see that we are getting a reaction off of this level. We are getting the reaction off the level. We drop down, we're getting a reaction off the level. We can see that we are getting the bullish divergences even now on the 24-minute. Okay, so this is super bullish. But sometimes you might be a little bit too early for the entry, and this happens to me a lot too, where I get too excited, which is fine, because then you can get back into the trade if you notice that you had the right idea, but you were a little too early. Okay, you get stopped out, but then you can come back in. This looks very bullish to me now, actually, for Ethereum. But just keep in mind, we need to go through the order of operations, and as we're going through, in the course, I go into this more. Where as we're going through, we're going to ask ourselves, okay, on the 4-hour time frame, of all the things there are to look at, the money flow, the VWAP, the momentum waves, how many of those three things are bearish or bullish? And then overall average them together and say, okay, well, 2 out of 3 are bullish. Go to the 2-hour. 2 out of 3 things are bullish. 1 hour, 2 out of 3 things are bullish. Then you're going to the 24-minute. Now what do we see? On the 24-minute, things look bullish. The 12-minute, things look bullish. The 6-minute, things look bullish. So yeah, I think that's a good long. I think that's a good long that you took, based on your confirmations, based on your level, based on the divergences. On the 3-minute, we've got the hidden divergence here. Yeah, I think that was a good long to take. So, who knows? I honestly hope that this is. I hope that we get a bounce here, guys. I hope we get a bounce here because, before we had this massive drop this morning, I was kind of thinking we would come above this weekly, but we didn't. So let's see what happens. But we have our levels marked. We know what we're looking for, up and down, right? And yeah, so later today, guys, I am going to put these levels in the Discord. But right now, I have to do some farmer stuff outside before it rains. It's going to rain in like an hour and a half, and I got to do some stuff before it rains. And also later, we'll probably do a regular live stream for the outsiders, guys, for the outsiders, where I'm obviously not gonna go into detail, but still just do enough to maintain the YouTube channel. So thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. And yeah, God bless, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.